With me now is Steve Green. He's a retired Boeing 737 captain and an accident investigator. Steve, thanks so much for joining us on CTV News Channel.
Oh, thanks for having me.
The plane was a Boeing 737-800. With your experience, talk about this aircraft. How reliable is it?
Oh, it's fantastically reliable. The 737 has a long, long history, and the 800 is probably the ultimate of it. I really enjoyed flying it. I always felt it was very comfortable. I was very confident in it. So I never really had any problems with it whatsoever.
Lots of talk about a potential bird strike. Could that have caused a disaster like this?
Yeah, it certainly could have. And now, to be fair, it's very early. We don't have a lot of information. We haven't seen what the flight data recorder is going to say or the cockpit voice recorder. But we did have a witness report indicating some bird ingestions. There was the air traffic control warning for birds. It is certainly likely that at least one engine was compromised due to a bird ingestion. And my total speculation is it's very possible both engines may have been compromised, and that's what may have created the whole issue.
But what kinds of questions does this crash bring up about airport infrastructure, as well as it appears it also hit a wall shortly after going off the runway?
Yeah, and that was one of the first things that struck me when I saw the video. Was now to just explain very quickly, the turn back to the airport is not an easy maneuver, and depending on how much energy you have, it can be very challenging. And it appears that they did that very well, but it's not surprising that they may have ended up somewhat farther down the runway than ideal when they touched down. I think it was in the scenario I'm envisioning, the landing gear was kept up intentionally because they just could not afford the extra drag. They didn't have time to mess with it. The important thing was to continue flying the airplane, and they did that. The touchdown was very nice. It appeared to be handled very well, but it was much farther down the runway than we probably would ideally like to have. And the result of that is they went off the end of the runway, and in many, many, many airports, that's not a problem. The surrounding terrain has been designed for that. But in this case, they appear to have run into literally a concrete wall. And that is, to me, just tragic, because without that, I think there would have been a very positive outcome of this thing.
And my final question to you, South Korea is ordering an air safety probe. What are you expecting from that report, and are you confident it will provide key insight that's needed?
I don't know that an overall probe is going to show us much more than we probably already know. I think they just want to go through and make sure that they haven't missed anything. But from my perspective, if it is in fact bird ingestion, that's not an airplane-specific issue. It's not an airline-specific issue. And it would appear, if everything I'm assuming is correct, it would appear that this crew did a really good job and would have been fine without the wall.
Steve Green is a retired Boeing 737 captain and an accident investigator. Greatly appreciate your time and insight this afternoon. Thanks so much.
Certainly. Thank you very much.